Hello and welcome to News Central TV. I'm Darshan Usman. The top stories this hour. Cellular preparations in top gear nationwide as NSCDC deploys more than 28,000 operatives to safeguard celebrations. Troops foil terrorist attacks in Borno, leaving scores of insurgents killed. President Trump banned citizens of Chad, Congo, and 10 other countries from entering U.S. Details shortly. We begin the news in Borno State, where troops of Operation Hatankai have thwarted terrorist attacks on Buratai and Malam Fatori in Borno State, killing scores of insurgents. Details of the operations were revealed in the statement on Thursday by the Acting Deputy Director of Army Public Relations of Operations Hatankai, Captain Ruben Kovangia. He noted that the troops demonstrated superior fighting power against the criminals, obliterating and inflicting casualties on scores of terrorists. He noted that the attacks, which occurred on June 5, 2025, were repelled by the combined efforts of ground forces and air components. Still on security, the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps on Thursday announced the deployment of more than 28,000 operatives across the country to ensure peaceful and secure holidays. NSCDC Commandant General Dr. Ahmed Audi said the large-scale deployment was part of ongoing efforts to protect critical national assets and infrastructure, as well as to safeguard lives and property across the nation. He warned of the potential for criminal activities during the festive period and stressed the need to forestall any threats posed by unscrupulous elements. Audi also charged the 36 state commandants and the FCT command to foster effective synergy and collaboration with other security agencies and local communities. News Central's reporters are tracking events leading to the Eid festivities from locations across the country to bring us up to speed with the latest. And let's start by bringing in Igbalani Omoni, who is standing by at Ojodubeja for the latest update. Niyi, thank you for joining. Earlier you said thousands were trapped in a gridlock on the road. Tell us what's the latest.
I'll start on my right-hand side here. Now, this is the road from Ibadan, inward Lagos State. And as you can see that the traffic eases up just as you move towards Ojodubeja, because most of the motorists have gone past the Kara corridor, which further confirms that the Kara corridor, which is a major ram market on that expressway, the stopover of motorists, of buyers, of traders, the trading activity generally ongoing at that place is one of the things causing traffic at that particular area. And that has further trapped a lot of travelers that are coming outside from the mainland here, most of them with their traveling bags. You see not much vehicle has arrived here at the time. And once they get here and they can't find vehicles to convey them, most of them who want to travel outside Lagos cross through this bridge here, if I can call it a bridge or a layway, to this side of the road. And on this side of the road, it hasn't eased up, because you would remember that the Warawa C-turning just along this Lagos-Ibadan expressway, which is a C-turning that links back to this side of the road, which has the Kara corridor. The road has been demarcated to give room for those who want to turn and go back to this side of the carriageway, which is the Kara corridor, which is the Ram Markets corridor, pardon me. And so it has reduced the amount of road space that motorists can actually use to engage. And that's why you will still find on this side of the road a major honk battle, if I can put it that way. Frustrations. In fact, if we had come in earlier, we would have seen two motorists about to dig it out and dish blows to themselves, just out of frustrations on how long they've stayed in this market, and noting how much fuel costs as of now in Lagos and Nigeria as a whole. It's quite difficult to speak to any of the motorists now, except if the traffic situation becomes quite bad. We are not praying for that. But of course, this will have enabled us to speak with one or two persons to know how they feel about this traffic situation. But for now, that is the traffic situation we have here. The road eases up from Warewa backwards to Ojodubega if you're coming from Ibadan Expressway to Lagos. But if you're going out of Lagos from Berger, and I'm sure it still goes far deep into Lagos environment, especially from the 7-Up, people coming from the island down to the mainland and moving out of Lagos, it's going to be a lot of economic hours wasted today in this traffic.
If you can get one or two car owners to also speak with. But before then, let's connect with our correspondent who is in Abuja, Sumaya Abubakar, to give us a feel of what the situation is like in the FCT. Hello, Sumaya. Please go ahead and tell us what's up in Abuja. What's happening?
Good afternoon, Hussein. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you. Please go ahead.
So I'm live here in Waro Market, and of course, as you can see, I don't know if you can pan around and show them what the market is looking like. Now, it's this market, of course, it's the cattle market right close to Apple, and it is really big. It has a lot of cattle around, and they're talking about prices, which is a lot. Now, of course, I have someone with me, a cattle seller here, and he's going to explain to us, of course, the prices, and we will get to know how much. So I'm here with Bala Basiru, and Bala, please walk us through the prices of the ram here in this market. I mean, talking about from the lesser price to the highest price here.
Rams are very cost than before. Not just like last year, because there is increase in prices. The way we bought them from the market last year is quite different this year. Just like this. This is almost 2.2, 2.3. That's how we sold this. And the other one as well. So you see this size, you can sell it at the price of 450. Yes.
So why is it so expensive? Why is the price so expensive?
Why is it expensive is because the way we bought them last year are not the same as this year. That's why the price are first from there, and that is how the transport is also cost. Everything we have to like add that together so that we can create a little thing out of it. That is it. So we really sold them out just to get our money back, not for them. Because they were cost, and they are not the buyers are very less. Buyers are very less. Like this kind of time last year, I think here we almost counting terms. We can just make few of it. But this year, they are enough. Even in our stores, there are more rams there. There is no market. So most people that enter this business, this is something very different. It's something hard. We don't know.
And this is, of course, the market forces that are expecting this, not from these people.
No, not from us. Many people, most of our customers, they were complaining they don't even have money to feed. Why buying rams? That's how
Odasha, this is the situation here in the nation's capital. As much as everyone is thinking that this is a place where people should be able to afford rams, it is really on the high side. We're talking about the lowest price being from 350. Maybe you can find one that looks like a baby, which is about 200. No, I think it's 150 to 200,000. But then we're talking about 1.2 million to 1.5 million naira ram in this time age. So this is currently what is going on in Waro in Abuja. Now back to you, Dashi.
Also, Maya, it does seem like, that amount is quite a lot. But we've actually heard complaints that in most cases, when these livestock are bought on time and kept in the house, they end up dying because they're not well taken care of before the festivity. So is there a possibility that they will be expecting an influx of people, say, by tomorrow morning or tomorrow throughout the day to prepare for the Salah?
Of course, I would want Bala Basiru to answer this. Bala, if at all this reaches tomorrow or even next, we've seen past Eid where at least after a day or two, the prices have to go down. Just like you said, you people are losing money. So what do you intend to do with it? There's a point of reducing for people at least.
So, yes, locally, sometimes maybe like tomorrow, other people are still coming to get their own tomorrow. And if no one comes, some people that has capital as well, they will store their own, start feeding it, maybe whenever a buyer comes. And those that don't have much capital, they will sell it at any price just to gain the money back. And some lose. Some cannot even have they can't even gain the half of what they bought, but they have to sell it because they don't have where to keep it. Even the food itself is something different. Yes.
So you pointed out that some people might take this and add more money, more capital to do it. Wouldn't that make it more expensive next time?
Yeah, definitely it will, because they are not just keeping it, because when they keep it, they must feed it. And that feeding was like added the money to the price again. That is how it is.
All right, Dashan, well, you heard from the horse's mouth. This is the situation in terms of the pricing, which is really scary, and it's looking like they might have to pause and hold this until tomorrow and next, and then we'll see if they get to do that. Now, of course, this shows that it's not just the buyers that are the losing end of this, because most people that want to do this sacrificing ritual that is meant to be religious and really blissful, they are also, the sellers are not able to even make their money and recover their money from this. So it's a kind of a lose-lose situation for Nigerians at the Salah Eid preparation.
Sumaya. Now let's go to Austin Azu, who is in Delta State, to give us an update. Hello, Austin. Over to you.
Yeah, good afternoon. Please confirm if you can hear us.
I can hear you, Austin. Please go ahead and give us an update on the festivities in Delta State.
Currently, we are to Oko Market. Oko Market is known for cattle, goats, and ram. However, you can hear some of the voices coming out from the market. By my right-hand side, you see the goats, and you see how it looks like. But however, we saw some people earlier on who came here to purchase.
All right, now we seem to have a connection issue with Austin. Let's go back to Nii and find out if he feels able to get any motorists to speak with on the gridlock situation on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Nii, can you hear me?
Traffic, how do you feel about this traffic?
The traffic was very huge, all the way from Ojota down to this very Ijora, very, very huge, and there is no way we can avoid it because of the Salah. And that's what is exactly happening. There is no any other vehicle that fall on the road, but it's because of the too much vehicle and a lot of people are traveling this time around. That's what caused the go slow. But as a part of that, nothing.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We caused a little bit of traffic just trying to get that response from one of the motorists. But I have here a Lagos resident as well, Mr. Ayoride. How have you been affected by this traffic?
Yes, this traffic is so much affecting, in the sense that people cannot travel as easy as that. I've been on this spot now for almost 3 hours now. I want to enter motor, but there is a lot of people, a lot of traffic, so the movement is very slow.
If you don't mind me asking, where are you traveling to? And have you heard how much they are calling that place? How much is transportation to your location?
Yes, actually I'm traveling to Ibadan, and on a normal day, Lagos here to Ibadan is 3,000, 4,000. But today now, they are saying 8,000, 10,000. So, in fact, we are just stranded. We are just stranded because of the Salah festival and the odor traffic. So that's it. Thank you very much.
You've heard it from Mr. Ayoride, and I'm sure there are so many other residents of Lagos, Ibadan, that are applying the truth, that want to meet with their families, either to celebrate, or even some who are living in Ibadan and are working in Lagos, or some working in Lagos, or some who are living in Lagos and work at Ibadan. Now they're stranded here. A lot of frustration. At almost every 2 minutes, you see some motorists come down here and dig it out with each other, out of frustration. And this is going to be going on for a long while, because the Kara corridor where the ram is being sold is still quite active, and I'm sure it's going to be active for the next couple of days. So a lot of people are stranded, they're angry, but there's nothing they can do for now.
Thank you so much, Igbalani, for that update. Now let's try and connect with our correspondent in Plateau State, Chizoba Nyongwe, to give us an update of preparations for the festivities. Chizoba, if you can hear me, please go ahead.
Hello, Dashara. Thanks for having me. I'm currently in the default Yanshano market in Nasarawa area of Jos, Plateau State. And of course, you can see behind me, that's all around me, not just behind me, all around me, you can see varying sizes of rams that we have here in the market, of course, waiting for buyers. Some of them, as we have been told, have been bought by people that are, of course, waiting for a few hours from here now to celebrate Salah. You know, so one amazing thing I just got to understand now is that the male rams here are more expensive than the same sizes of the male in female, the female counterpart, so to speak. You know, and the reason is that the male ram, when slaughtered, has more reward than slaughtering the female ram. I'm yet to get more details on that, but that is the situation at the moment. And so that is why we have them all here waiting for the buyers. And then as part of cost, I was told that, in fact, if you can see by my left here, this white one beside me here has gone for 750,000 naira. It's been bought already, but the owner is coming back to pick it up. So that is to tell you how expensive these rams are. And asking the chairman of this market why it is like that, you know, normally you get to see that same size going for 300,000 naira, 350 or 400,000 naira. But today, it is as high as 750,000 naira. And we're also shown one that is going for 800,000 naira. So, but the sadness behind this all is that people would say there is no money in circulation. The economy is biting so hard for so many people. They did not envisage this to continue up till now. You know, unlike last year, same ones that will go for 800, 500 were lesser than what it is today, going by like 200,000 naira, 500,000 naira, respectively. However, I have one respondent here to tell us more about these rams in the market. Mr. Shitu, please join us. Thank you for having me. All right. Okay, so Shitu, tell us about these rams here in the market.
I'm here to purchase. So mostly I want to also sacrifice one. I need to see the one that my money can afford to buy. I've purchased one at the price at 250 thousand salt. Same size I bought last year at 150. Such rams are here in the market all over town without markets. Okay. So the price has skyrocketed. So I don't know. I'm still searching.
Okay, so what do you think can be done so that the average people out there, Nigerians out there, will be able to get at least one or two to have the celebration complete tomorrow?
You know.
All right, well, thank you so much, Chizoba, for that update. Well, with that, we'll actually go on a break now, but when we return, we'll tell you it's World Environment Day with a call to end plastic pollution. We'll bring you more of this after the break. Stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. Now, the National Orientation Agency has to be assured Nigerians, particularly those commuting along the Mokwa Road in Niger State, of the continued safety and accessibility of the Mokwa Bridge. It affirmed that vehicular movement will remain uninterrupted as necessary measures are being taken to maintain the free flow of traffic and address any emergent concerns. After a visit to the Mokwa flood site, Malam Lanre Isa Onilu, Director General of the agency, said the federal government has made efforts to address public apprehension, emphasizing government's commitment to ensuring smooth and unhindered transportation along the vital corridor. It noted that proactive steps are being taken to mitigate any disruptions and preserve the integrity of the road network. The 2025 World Environment Day is focusing on increasing efforts to end plastic pollution with the theme Ending Plastic Pollution Globally. Experts are calling for concerted efforts to focus on ending the harmful effects of plastic waste. Now, they say that plastic waste degrades the environment, thus the need to ensure a more sustainable and climate-resilient future. News Central correspondent Bettina Ngweli reports.
Every year on the 5th of June, World Environment Day is observed globally. But here the challenges remain. Plastic cans and plastic bags litter the environment right behind me for as far as the eyes can see.
The theme for this year's World Environment Day is ending plastic pollution globally. With the Republic of Korea serving as the host country, there has been emphasis on the urgent need to address plastic pollution, which continues to threaten ecosystems and human health worldwide.
The environment is a continuum. The boundary between Nigeria and Ghana, for example, could be physical, but the environmental boundaries are not physical. So whatever is happening here in Lagos, Nigeria, can be of impact in Ghana, Togo, and our neighbors. So there is need for a regional approach to it.
Environmental scientists warn that over 40% of the world's ecosystems are under severe stress, while experts add that with coordinated action, natural systems can recover, offering protection against climate change.
Ban on styrofoam, single-use plastics are shining examples of what government can do. However, other things that need to be done include governments being more conscious of the lobbyist activities of plastic producers and manufacturers. It's important that government becomes conscious that when they get supported by plastic manufacturers, they may be form of inducements, or they may be form of incapacitating governments not to take policies that can, quote unquote, put them under business challenges.
The Nigerian government is also taking steps to combat plastic pollution through policies aimed at reducing plastic waste and promoting recycling. However, experts say more needs to be done to achieve lasting change.
We can embark of a massive, planting of trees, because we know the values that are associated with trees. They attract what we call microclimate. If you have trees in an area, you will see that even the precipitation, the amount of rainfall, that the area will receive is actually, in most cases, is higher than where they don't have trees.
As World Environment Day reminds us, the environment isn't just a global issue, it is local responsibility. So whether you're just picking up plastics from the ground or pushing for policy change, every action counts. In Abuja, for News Central, Bettina Ngweli.
Still on environmental matters, June 5th every year is celebrated as World Environment Day. Now this year, the focus is on overcoming plastic pollution, which brings the devastating impacts of decades of oil extraction activities in Nigeria's Niger Delta region in the spotlight once again. Despite being a biodiversity hotspot and a major source of Nigeria's oil wealth, the Niger Delta is paradoxically one of the most environmentally degraded regions globally. And let's quickly bring in an environmentalist and executive director of the Advocacy Center, Dr. Fineface Dunamene, who joins us virtually from Port Harcourt. Thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Fineface.
Good afternoon to you. Happy World Environment Day. I hope you are taking steps to beat plastic pollution.
Yes, we are. Happy World Environment Day to you as well. Now, let's begin with the theme of this year, that's beating plastic pollution. Why does it seem like so much has been said for so long with little action?
Yeah, I think so much has been said about beating plastic solution, but very little action has been taken, especially in Nigeria. In other parts of the world, steps are being taken to address some of these issues. I can practically talk about Kenya, where they have phased out plastic bottles for bottled water, and they are now using breakable bottles that are recyclable and reusable compared to what we still have in Nigeria. So much has not been achieved in Nigeria in terms of being able to beat plastic pollution. That is why if you walk on our streets, you are going to see plastic everywhere, and it is even blocking the drainages and contributing to, the flooding that we do have in parts of the country. So I think we need to do more to see what we can do as a country through policies and programs of government, and for all hands to be on deck for us to beat plastic pollution, and not to just seem as if we are sitting on the fence and not doing enough to beat plastic pollution.
Now let's come to Lagos State, where the state government has banned single-use plastics. Now, do you think this is the step or a step in the right direction? What policies can be created and enforced nationwide?
Right direction. I do refer to Lagos as not just a state, but a country, where they always take the lead in things they need to do for other parts of the country to follow. So what they have done in Lagos is the way to go. And I think other parts of the country, other states should emulate this. And at the national level, the federal government should also take steps to ensure that they put in place policies and programs like what Lagos has experimented or they are experimenting to ensuring that.
All right, we seem to have lost him. Now let's move on from that. Kurudu, a bustling satellite community within the Federal Capital Territory Abuja, is battling the negative effects of indiscriminate waste disposal as residents lament the inability of the FCT authorities to evacuate the refuse. They say this is posing a major health and environmental risk as the unevacuated refuse is now taking over the major access road. News Central correspondent Aishat Salihu visited the community and now brings us the full story.
For the people of Kurudu, this is their daily reality. A section of this road, originally earmarked as a refuse collection point with a designated bin, has become an open dumping ground. Residents with limited alternatives continue to dispose of their waste here. But the real problem, they say, lies in the glaring absence of waste management authorities.
If there is nowhere they should put the dustbin, the place already developed. So please and please, let the airport to change it. Before this thing will cause a lot of accidents.
Let them check it themselves. It's not okay. We have many people that are passing through this road. And if you are passing by foot, you cannot pass completely. The economic impact is profound. Business owners like Ugu Sunday, who rely on the accessibility of this road for their customers, are seeing their livelihoods crumble. But beyond the financial losses, a more sinister threat looms: a public health crisis.
The dustbin is disturbing me from my work because my customer is running to me because of this dustbin. When they come, they say the dustbin is smelling. So they don't please stay with me. They carry the work to go.
The stagnant waste, a breeding ground for mosquitoes, flies, and rodents, poses a significant health hazard. Concerns about cholera, typhoid, and other communicable diseases are growing among the community.
I cannot stay in my business ground based on the order, and what I'm perceiving is not helpful to my health, and it's not helpful to my customers.
When I don't go to hospital, the thing is affecting me because of the smell. I go there, the hospital people told me that I'm staying for where the bin there, it affects my body.
Residents maintain the lack of will by the authorities to pay the private company contracted to pick the refuse, leading to the mess. They are asking for intervention to reclaim their road, their livelihoods, and their health.
The uncontrolled dumping of waste at this refuse disposal site between Pegi and Kurudu satellite communities in the FCT has posed threat to the source of livelihoods for many residents in this area. One question remains: for how long will they continue to live like this without any intervention in sight? In the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, for News Central, Aishat Salihu.
Thank you so much, Aisha, for that report. And now we've been able to reconnect with Dr. Fine Faze Dumna Mene, who was speaking to us earlier about today being World Environment Day. We lost him there for a minute. Thank you so much for reconnecting.
Thank you for having me back on the program.
All right, so now let's talk about beating plastic pollution. Put that into perspective for us, especially in light of the Niger Delta question, you know, from the Ogoni cleanup to all the leakages, and so on?
Thank you. By beating plastic pollution, I think we are trying to look at how all hands can be on deck for us to beat plastic pollution in our society, in our communities, and in our households. So it behooves on us as a people, as a household, as a government, as a people, to ensure that we do those things that will save our environment from plastic pollution. It means that we have to reuse our plastics. We need to try as much as possible not to dispose of plastics on the streets in such a way that it will dirty the environment and make the gutters to block and contribute to flooding that we have within our communities and across the country, just like what we now have in Mokwa in Niger State. So I think that we need to do some of these things. And then this plastic that is introduced to the environment causes environmental pollution and degradation. And that is why in the Ogoni area even, apart from what they are doing in the area of trying to remove hydrocarbon from the environment, you also see that in some of those areas, plastic that have been introduced into the environment for decades are also being removed from the environment. So the activities of multinational oil companies also contributes to environmental pollution and degradation. And if you look at the Niger Delta as a whole, you will see that apart from these plastics we are talking about, we have major environmental pollution that is also impacting the environment in some of these areas. And I think that today being a day we are using to reflect on our activities as a people on the environment and how to preserve the environment away from plastics, we need to see what we can do. Government at the local level, government at the state level, and government at the federal level must collectively work together and give a direction to the people on what we need to do in order to beat plastic pollution. Because if we allow plastic pollution to go the way it is going, according to United Nations, they are saying that we are going to have more plastics in the ocean than even fishes by the year 2050. So I think it is high time we give attention to this by trying to introduce policies and programs that we gradually phase out plastics from our homes, plastic from our market, and even those companies that produce plastics, we have to fizzle out of business and embrace other alternatives that will enable us to protect our environment in the process of our daily living.
Well, thank you so much for joining us and speaking on this. And with that, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, the news continues. Stay with us. As part of efforts to combat preventable childhood diseases, the federal government says that it is ramping up efforts to boost public acceptance of the measles rubella vaccine. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, made this known as he received representatives from the Center for Wellbeing and Integrated Nutrition Solutions who are calling for stronger collaboration to ensure vaccine acceptance across the country. News Central correspondent Sumaya Abubakar reports.
In a bid to strengthen Nigeria's response to vaccine-preventable diseases, the Center for Wellbeing and Integrated Nutrition Solutions visited the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, in Abuja.
The objective of the vaccine is that we want to achieve 95% of the measles rubella, which is starting in October. We are immunizing children from 9 months to 15 years to cover a lot of the population.
The team emphasized the urgent need for public awareness campaigns to drive the acceptance of the measles rubella vaccine, which is currently available across health centers in the country.
So we'd like you to support the cause of ensuring that the public trust is built on the vaccine and those children can avail themselves wherever they may be.
Idris expressed the ministry's readiness to support a nationwide advocacy using the government's media platforms to boost the vaccine's acceptance.
Advocacy, which is one of the major instruments you use to prevent this, is actually available here and will help you and collaborate with you to ensure that all Nigerians get to know about the dangers associated with measles, rubella, and other illnesses such as this one.
The center says that increased collaboration with the Ministry of Information is crucial to dispel myths and encourage families to protect their children. With measles outbreaks still reported in parts of the country, health experts say timely vaccination remains the most effective method of prevention. In Abuja, for News Central, Sumaya Abubakar.
Let's head to education now. As tertiary institutions seek to improve learning outcomes, artificial intelligence presents various opportunities amidst myriads of challenges. However, stakeholders say its integration will be of immense contribution to students' effectiveness. News Central's Omolola Ololade explores the potential of this trend as showcased by university students in Lagos.
Artificial intelligence, otherwise known as AI, is revolutionizing numerous sectors, including tertiary education, just as government and relevant stakeholders in Nigeria are beginning to recognize its potential in the education system. It is against this backdrop that the Center for Journalism Innovation and Development at its AI campus training brought together students from different departments in the University of Lagos to showcase their ideas using artificial intelligence and other technological tools.
For the first time, transiting this into technology, into AI. So as you see, this is about integrating AI and other digital tools essentially into the media. Okay, so they demonstrate the skill that they have. For now, we measure where they are already, you know, and it's very amazing to see all of the brilliant innovations that they're already working on.
They've been building solutions around AI for social good, media innovation, and misinformation tackling. And I think for what we're really looking at would be the innovation around this. How novel is this idea? And also, what is your technical approach to solving these problems?
Integrating AI into tertiary education is crucial to student learning process, as it not only prepares students for the rapidly changing job market, but also helps students focus on ideas necessary for solving problems.
We have like a AI chat box that works with the solution. So the AI chat box is just supposed to work, supposed to help you, like maybe you want to ask questions, okay, what can I do with this 2.2 GPA? What can I study with my course? How can I leverage it in the future? Can it be replaced with AI? Something like ChatGPT, but it's tailored based on the information that is on the device and the startup.
We plan on using the AM detector to help women, you know, be able to detect this problem before it develops into an infection and subsequently leads to premature rupture of the membrane or even the death of the infant.
Analysts say AI as a tool for education is here to stay. Therefore, it is essential to maximize its benefits in higher education through ethical and sustainable fusion. In Lagos for News Central, Omolola Ololade.
News Now returns after the break. Thank you for staying with us. We're still in the Salah festivities, and we have our correspondent Aisha Salihu, who is in Abuja, to give us an update on how the festivities are going on at where she is. Aisha, thank you for joining. Please go ahead.
So much, Dashan, for joining me. We're live at the Federal Secretariat here in Abuja. The Federal Secretariat houses a number of ministries in the nation's capital, and we have heard from people, listened to people about their plans.
Aisha, I think we'll pick this up again later. Now, let's move to other stories from around the world. President Donald Trump has signed a new proclamation barring citizens from 12 countries from entering the United States, citing national security concerns. The restriction will take effect on June 9, 2025. The proclamation includes exceptions from lawful permanent residents, existing visa holders, certain visa categories, and individuals whose entry serves U.S. national interests. Now, the full travel ban affects nationals from Afghanistan, Myanmar, Chad, Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen. In addition to the full bans, the proclamation imposes partial restrictions on citizens of Burundi, Cuba, Laos, Sierra Leone, Togo, Turkmenistan, and Venezuela. Tensions flared in Mexico City as a group of protesting teachers hijacked a government vehicle outside the Ministry of Interior. The teachers, mostly from poorer southern states, have been protesting for months, demanding better pay and fairer pension terms. Despite several rounds of talks, union leaders say little has changed and frustrations have boiled over. They say the hijacking was a desperate move to highlight the government's failure to act. One union representative told reporters the protests would escalate until a meaningful agreement is reached. The incident underscores growing discontent among teachers who feel left behind in the country's economic plans. So far, authorities have not issued an official response, but pressure is mounting on the government to resolve the long-distance or long-standing disputes.
El país completo, con los maestros democráticos de la CENTE, nos estamos movilizando. No tenemos avances en las mesas de negociación, nos han dado propuestas que solamente consideramos que son parches para el sistema de pensiones que estamos pidiendo. Entonces, mientras no haya una solución apegada a la demanda que estamos exigiendo, vamos a seguir en movimiento.
Las pensiones, hoy nos está ofreciendo la presidenta Claudia Sheinbaum, nos está ofreciendo una pensión de 4,000 pesos. Ella dice que con la pensión está dando el gobierno federal, se haría un ajuste. Lo decimos nosotros que no aceptamos esa reforma, nos estaría dejando una pensión de miseria.
In the world of sports, Nigeria's under-17 women's football team, the Flamingos, have been drawn in Group D for the 2025 FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup. Now the draw, conducted in Rabat on Wednesday, placed Nigeria alongside Canada, France and Samoa. This marks a challenging group for the 2022 bronze medalists as they prepare for the expanded 24-nation tournament. The competition, which began 17 years ago in New Zealand, will be held for the 9th time. The news returns after the break. All at this hour on the news. But before we go, here's another look at some of our top stories. We told you that Salah preparations have entered top gear nationwide as NSCDC has deployed more than 28,000 operatives to safeguard celebrations. We also told you that troops have foiled terrorist attacks in Borno and left scores of insurgents killed. Finally, you heard that President Trump has banned citizens of Chad, Congo and 10 other countries from entering the U.S. Remember, you may send your eyewitness report to the WhatsApp number on the screen. Do follow us on social media. We are at News Central TV. You can watch News Central live on DSTV channel 422, GoTV channel 23, StarTime channel 274, Avo TV, and YouTube. Thank you for watching. I'm Darshan.